Hello. I just finished listening to the biography about Elon Musk that Walter Isaacson has written. I think it was really inspiring, and one point that I liked was that he talks about Elon Musk's algorithm, and that's how he runs his companies and wants to constantly simplify what he's doing. So he tries to simplify the process for building, if it's cars or rocket ships or whatever he does. He always wants to simplify and get the result sooner. So he tries to remove as much as possible. And in that algorithm, then he wants his employees to always question their requirements. So not just take requirements from NASA at face value, but always question them. So find the person who is responsible, who has written the requirement, and contact that person and ask why is it there, and try to understand the reason why it's there, and if not, then remove it and just ignore it, even if it's from some authority. And continuation with that, the algorithm was also that try to remove as much as possible to simplify the product, and eventually it's not gonna work anymore. You have removed too much, so then if you have to add back 10%, then he thinks you removed enough. If you don't need to add anything back, then you have not removed enough. So that's a good signal. He thinks that you have removed enough. And the other part that I think was inspiring was the sense of urgency that he was running his companies with. That often he put up unrealistic deadlines, and maybe the engineers would say that it takes 10 days, but he would only give them 1 day, and then they really scramble to how can we simplify to reach this goal that we have put up. Sometimes it didn't work out, but many times they needed to really think outside the box and be innovative to be able to reach those deadlines. I think that was also quite interesting and inspiring, similar to the point about simplifying, that that sense of urgency, that you want to reach the result within a reasonable time. Often the author says in the biography that Elon Musk is disappointed that he will not see the result within his lifetime, and they need to make it simpler to be able to reach that goal, so he can see the result of it within his lifetime. The topic about simplification, I think that's quite a common topic now in software engineering as well, that people are starting to question do we really need maybe React? Maybe it's enough with just regular HTML pages that are rendered on the server. That do we really need one complexity that is added from a framework like React with you get all these additional build steps with compiling for TypeScript and SAS and bundling and minification. You get all this extra stuff. And also I listened to an interview with the author of the HTMX framework, and he talked about this new book about the grug developer or something, and there he talks about simplicity as well, that he really dislikes microservices, and in the past I worked with that in one project with microservices, and I have to agree that when I was working with it, it felt like such an overhead to those services were so coupled that whenever we needed to make some changes, we needed to make it in 3 different repositories, and add interfaces for that, and message bus, and it's just doing the same repetitive thing over and over again in different places. So maybe that wasn't so well architectured, since it was so often that you needed to make the same change in all these layers. But I still think that if it's possible, I think it's worth like simplifying. I think the what they call now the modular monolith, or the majestic monolith, I really like much more. Try to keep it in one application, and you can still split it up, but introducing microservices with network calls, it's just adding a lot of complexity, and it gets slower. Maybe it makes sense for if you are the size of Spotify and Netflix, then sure, then you want to be able to scale. But I think many people have just taken we want to be the next Netflix and Spotify, so therefore we should use microservices. But most companies, they never reach that level, so it's a bit unnecessary to add that extra complexity, and that just becomes a weight that makes you slower at iterating. I think one reason why microservices has been popular, and like React as well, and it feels like it's some CV or resume oriented development, that developers, they pick technology that will sound cool to have on their CV, and therefore over engineer things beyond what's really needed for the task. So instead of just making a simple plain application, they add this extra complexity with all extra technology, just to be able to put it on the CV, and then for the next job be able to show that I'm familiar with microservices and front end single page applications. Even if it hurts this project, but it's more egoistically thought that it will help you in the future for your own personal gain. I also think it's quite interesting what DHH, so David Heinemeier, what he's talking about. He's like one thing he promotes is nobuild, that for the products he and his company is building, that he doesn't want to have any build step at all for the front end. So just plain CSS, plain JavaScript, no minification, and just keep it plain. So he wrote, what's faster than a no build? So if you're not even building anything, then that will be like the fastest pipeline you will have, since you don't spend any time at all on doing any of that work. And I think it's quite fun and refreshing to see these people who promote simplification and removing complexity. But I think it's good that people are questioning old truths, also like clean code, but people are starting to question, is it really the best practices? People are a bit skeptical. So that's what I think, and I really liked the book about Elon Musk, and I highly recommend it. It was a great, both like learning more about him. I've read a previous biography about him that came out, it was many years ago I think now. But I think even if you don't agree with everything that he does, which I don't think anybody maybe can agree with everything, but still I think it was interesting to just learn more about how he runs his companies and how his thought process is, and cannot deny that he has been successful. So I think something of value is there. So maybe you don't want to replicate it yourself, like many of his employees seem to burn out eventually. Like it's difficult to keep his pace for too long, but I still think it's worth topics about how to simplify and reach the goal faster, and what can you remove. And I see parallels from that to software engineering, that I think there's a lot that can be simplified there as well.